So Matthew chapter 5 from verse 21. Matthew 5 from verse 21. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Raka, shall be in the danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, Thou fool, shall be in the danger of hell. We discover that the first one, if you get angry with your brother without a cause, you are going to be in the danger of the judgment. Not judgment, but the judgment. Are you there? Now, if you now say Raka, you will be in the danger of the council. But it shows that this last statement follows a different progression. Because if it follows the same progression, it's supposed to be and. Do you understand? And whosoever shall say, Thou fool. But the Bible uses the word but to show that there is something about it. Because somebody asked me a question. The person said, Sir, but in the book of Galatians, Paul referred to the Galatians as foolish. Oh, you foolish Galatians. So does it now mean that Paul is in the danger of hellfire? Are you there? So it was not only Paul. There were some people that even Jesus looked at them and he called them fools, especially the Pharisees and the Sadducees. So does it now mean that Jesus himself is in the danger of hellfire? We are going to consider this as the Lord helps us this morning. The first statement there, if you get angry with your brother without a cause, you will be in the danger of the judgment. I explained that yesterday, right? Now, the judgment there, if you want to understand it, we'll need to quickly travel to Matthew chapter 7 from verse 1. The first statement there says, Judge not, that ye be not judged. So when you get angry with your brother without a cause, meaning without any reason, and then they came to you and say, No, you don't offend me, but I just eat you. You get angry with your brother without a cause, without any reason. You are going to be in the danger of the judgment. So this judgment here is the one that Matthew 7 verse 1 is referring to. That's the judgment of a man. So to be in there, if you look at Matthew 7 1, it's a judge not, that ye will not judge. As a matter of fact, the Bible so much stressed it that the Bible was even saying, why are you trying to remove the stick in the eyes of your brother, when in your own eyes you have log of wood there? Are you saying that? So the judgment here in chapter 25 is the same as that judgment in Matthew 7 1. Are you there? And that's the judgment of a man. So, and what is the judgment of a man? The judgment of a man is the legal criticisms Note the word, the legal criticism of a man. Although criticism, there's no time that anything bad is legal. There's no time. I say I did this to him. You can't do bad things legally. Nothing evil is legal. But I'm using that word, legal criticism, because what I'm trying to drive, the point I'm trying to drive in is that um, to be in the danger of judgment. Are you there? You what brings you into that state is when you get angry with your brother without any reason. So you're going to be in the danger of the judgment, and that judgment is the judgment of a man. Why? Now I call it legal criticism because you have given them every ground to criticize you. You are at fault. That's why I called it legal criticism. Because it's obvious that you are doing what you're not supposed to do. It's obvious that you reacted in a way you should not react. It's just like somebody that, because he was angry, he just slapped the face of his, or somebody close, or maybe it's somebody very close. Now because of that thing, of course he was guilty. And because he did that out of anger, there can be people may now begin to criticize him. And that will be legally because he actually did it. There are some criticisms that people do. They are not even sure of it. Maybe because they just perceive or they just assume. That one is not a legal criticism. But what you do wrong that has now become an entrance or a permission for others to speak negative things to you. Are you there? That's what the Bible is talking about here. That you should not get angry with your brother without any reason, so that you will not be in the danger of the judgment of men. Men will judge you. Are you there? And they will do it legally because you are really at fault. Are you there? That's why we have to pray for our leaders, pray for especially our Christian leaders, our pastors, those who have been a blessing to us. Let us pray for them. Are we together? Let us pray for them. It's very, very important. Are we there? It's very, very important. Because if a pastor falls into something, and then people are now speculating, and it now comes out openly to say, well, I'm sorry, it actually happened, I'm sorry, but I am. So when you do something wrong and people criticize you, are you there? That thing that you have done has brought you into the danger of judgment. Now, the danger of judgment now is the unrest, the troubles that will come to you. And the trauma you are going to face because of that thing you have done. Everybody is talking. Yes, I know this pastor is fake. Everything he's doing is just acting. I told you. And that person said, well, I told you. I said he's a fake man of God. You did not believe. You are the one talking about him as if he's one genuine man. This is it now. So all those things that people will say, different versions of the stories that will be flying around, are you there? That is the danger of judgment. So the judgment there is the things that people will say. How are you there? How that people will misinterpret it and make it look more terrible than it was or than it is. That's the judgment. So the danger of judgment is the danger. There is the effect it will have on you. So the Bible is now saying that don't get angry with your neighbor without a cause for your own good. Because if you do, you will be in the danger of judgment. Are you getting this now? So to be in the danger of judgment, I hope it's clear to you. Because even those that are not, those that have not really done anything wrong. Me, personally, I've been accused wrongly before. And then they were making it look like I actually committed fornication. And it's never happened by the grace of God. Are you there? But that was the picture they painted. Even because of that, I was even sacked from the ministerial thing I was doing with that ministry at that time. That's to show you how serious it is. I remember, I know I have administration in a particular institution at that time, that even those fellowships, they were scared to bring me, so they had to cancel it. Why? How will they bring a minister that the news is still flying around that he committed fornication? All I did was just to post. I was doing a teaching series on relationship. There's no way you talk, you'll be teaching a relationship and you won't talk about sex. So this particular week, I was talking about sex, and then one of the elders said, "Ha, this young boy, he's not even in a relationship, and he's talking about sex like this. He must have done it." That was where my problem started from. And that thing escalated. Maybe my fault was that in that period, maybe I should have hold on my series a bit and let the air blow on it. But for me, I just felt no, this is the assignment of the Lord. Now young people, that's youthful exuberance. Sometimes we are not willing to wait to calm down. Me in the process, I still continue doing my series, so it now make it look more real to some people that okay, this brother must have me. And that point in time, although everything I was teaching was by inspiration, I was not even in a relationship at that time. But it's obvious that this young boy is actually being inspired by the Lord, because the things I was writing, although they are true, but I have not even experienced them. But that period, the emphasis for the relationship was concerning sex. Are you there? And then, so that period was so serious, maybe if I had slowed down a bit at that time when the persecution was high, especially a young boy being persecuted by elders, and then with the way things are, you can't really conquer, you can't really overcome an elder, whether they are right or wrong. So, but for me, I did not pause the series. I was still teaching and teaching, because me, I felt, no, this is from the Lord, how will I stop? So I felt, well, it's just persecution. I should not allow persecution to stop me. So that made it more real, and then escalated and escalated. Are you there? Now, that is wrong accusation. Now, not to talk of what the Bible is not talking about in this place. If you get angry with your neighbor without a cause, without any reason, you will be in the danger of the judgment. And that judgment is the judgment of men. Just like I was saying, as revealed in Matthew 7:1. So that judgment in Matthew 7:1 is the judgment the Bible is referring to in chapter 5. So don't get angry with your brother without a cause. And when you say brother there is being used to is being used for both the male and the female. Are you there? So the judgment is the judgment of a man. Are you there? So the judgment there is what men will say. The danger there is the effect it will have on you. Are you there? So it is one thing to be criticized for something that you did not do. It is one thing for people to accuse you wrongly. You slept with that brother. You slept with that sister. Are you there? That is one thing. It's another thing for you to be accused for what you did. So this place now, Jesus is emphasizing on doing something wrong that now gave a platform for others to talk down on you. Are we together? To talk down on you. Jesus is saying, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. So the anger there is more than the normal anger that you can see on the face. Rage is more than rage. Anger there, are you there? If you really want to press deep into the meaning and sip the juice in that verse, anger there is what you do in disobedience. So it can be the rage that can be seen on the face, It can be a misbehavior, going against the clear instructions of God. Because if you do that, you'll be in the danger of the judgment of men. Men will judge you. They will talk down on you. We told you, he's a fake man of God. People are the ones sharing his flyer, sharing his shot. That's it now. That's it now. Meanwhile, that man just made one mistake like that. And he even came openly to say, okay, I'm sorry I did it. Are you not supposed to appreciate that sincerity? No, they will nail him to the cross. They will bite him. They will bite him. There is this wonderful music minister. I don't want to, of course, I don't mention people's name. But if you can decide, you know what I'm talking about. There's this wonderful music minister. He's a male. So he traveled abroad to minister. And then somehow, he did not go with his wife. Somehow, there's this lady, I've forgotten the name of the lady. And then they had something in common. So the lady is not really a very decent person, something like that. Because from her reaction, you know that this one is not a decent person. So it had something to do with this lady. They had sex. Somehow, how it happened, we don't know. So maybe that act was kept quiet. Are you there? So and maybe probably must have felt guilty, and then maybe he prayed about it that God should forgive him. I don't know. Maybe he did not tell his wife or something. So after some time, this lady, because of the kind of person she was, she now came to the open and said, this thing happened in this our country. Are you there? It happened here in this country. Are you there? And then he now came because this man of God I'm talking about now, he had died. He died, I think, in less than a year now. I think it's less than a year. He died some weeks ago. I see some people doing remembrance for him. Are you there? Just remembering his legacy and things like that. Now, this sister now came out publicly online and said, this is your mighty music minister. Slept with me. Tell him to come and say that what I said is not true. Go and ask him. And then you know the way people would do. You know how people will react. They went to him, blah, blah, blah. Is this true? Then the music minister now came up openly and said, I'm sorry. I apologize to the body of Christ. It happened, but was not intentional. Guess what the lady said? They said, because me, I'm pregnant and I'm not ready to abort it. Can you see that? I think it's slightly more than a year, but not up to 2 years. I can't really remember the duration. He said, me, I'm pregnant. Me, I'm pregnant, but I cannot abort it. Okay. Now, till now, the lady that said she's pregnant, she has not given birth. So obviously, she was just doing that to destroy the image of the man. Are we together? A lot of things now began to spread. This man that will be singing, we will be inviting him to their churches, is fake. A lot of things. Are you there? That is what the Bible is talking about in this place. If you choose to act in disobedience, you will be in the danger of the judgment, which is the judgment of men. Men will judge you. The danger there is you will not be at peace. You will experience unrest. The danger of men is the insult of men. It's better not to even be guilty. Are you there? The only set of people, for me, if somebody comes like that and see, one thing is, there's one attitude I appreciate. And I know it's not me, it's Christ in me. It doesn't matter what you have done. Are we together? I've heard there are several things that people have told me things in this life, and I know I'll still hear more. What have you, some of you, when people want to speak to me and they say, sir, what I want to say is terrible, I just laugh. In my mind, I'm thinking, what do you want to say now that I've probably not heard? Somebody have told me how that she put her mouth in another person's private part, and maybe I don't know what she's doing with it. I've heard, as crazy as that is, I've heard it. I've heard it. Somebody that opened up herself and allow another person to be touching her private part. I've heard it. So what do you want to say? I've heard those, as dirty as those things is, I've heard it. Are you there? But based on the workings of God in me, it doesn't matter how dirty what you have done is, how terrible it is. Once you are bold enough to open up sincerely, are you there? You no longer deserve a condemnation. But unfortunately, the people of this world, they don't know. They don't know. So when you come up and you open up sincerely, I did this thing, that's when they now begin to bite you. They will now begin to cut you. They will now begin to bury you, frustrate you. I want to believe that it was depression was one of the things that killed that mighty minister of God. Depression must be one of the major causes. People now began to, discriminate. Those that used to revere him before, they are now shunning him. Meanwhile, they themselves, what they are even doing in the secret is more worse. That is what you see. If I by the Spirit, I'm taking my time to dig into this, so you will understand. You see, some of the things that Jesus said, those little statements that looks very cheap, if we press into it, you will know it's mighty. It's mighty. If we press into it, you know it's mighty. This is what Jesus is warning you against. That if you get angry with your neighbor without any cause, without any reason, you will be in the danger of the judgment. That judgment is not even first the judgment of God. It's the judgment of men. The things that men will say to you, the insult that they will put on you because they feel you are worthy of it. Are you getting what I'm saying? So the anger there is beyond, of course, is part of it, but it's more than just the rage, raging, and then your face is, squeezed. That one is part of it. You get angry, and then you are destroying things, scattering things. And then they tell you why. Saying, because of this, somebody did it, you are scattering things. Every misbehavior you engage in brings you into the danger, brings you closer to the danger of the judgment. The danger of the judgment. You better stay away from it and be careful. And be careful. So if you get angry, I told you that anger there is misbehavior. Is summarized in disobedience. So it may not necessarily be the raging of a man. It can be other forms of disobedience to God, which can, are you there? That anger, there's anything you do that can make the world feel that they have right to condemn you or to speak down on you. That's the thing. And Jesus is saying, stay away from it. Stay away from it. Stay away from it. Some of you are doing some things now. They are because you can hide it. You are still doing it. Better stay away from that thing. Soon you'll be in the danger of the judgment now. The day somebody will catch you there, and then they will now, because you are a child of God, you cannot lie. You know, okay, tell me that you did not do it. Tell us I did not do it. You know, say, well, I'm sorry. You will know that day. That's when you will know the weight of this statement that Jesus made that is looking simple. That day you will know the weight. You better desist from those things. Those misbehaviors. Better stay away from it. So that you will not be in the danger of the judgment, which is the judgment of men. Are we together? The first one, let me begin to do a recap now. So before I now explain the last one, because there are three statements there. So the first statement is, don't get angry without a cause, so that you will not be in the danger of the judgment. And then the second statement is, don't say raka to your neighbor, because if you do that, you'll be in the danger of the council. Are we together? So what happens? It is a progression. But you see, the last statement is not following this progression. That's why you see the Bible use the word but, not and, to show you that it's not following the same progression. Are you there? Now the last statement, the Bible now says, but if you refer to somebody as a fool, you will be in the danger of hellfire. Meaning you will be, when you say you will be in danger of, it means you'll be subjected to that thing. For example, to be in the danger of hell is to be hellbound. Are you there? But don't worry, we are going to take a look at it again. Now let's look at the three statements again. Are you there? Now, number one, if you get angry with your neighbor without a cause, you will be in the danger of the judgment. And if you say raka to your neighbor, you will be in the danger of the council. So the first statement will graduate into the second statement, because there's no way you are going to get angry with your neighbor without a cause that you will not say raka. Saying raka here does not necessarily mean that you are saying that exact word. Oh, raka to you, raka, raka. No, that's not it. Any negative word that you say to your neighbor is equal to raka, and that qualifies you to be in the danger of the council. So whether you say raka or you say you are stupid, you say you are useless, why are you so are you there? Those things, those negative things we say, it's all equal to raka, and that brings us to, are you there? Danger of the council. But when you get angry without a cause, most of those negative things we say is because we get angry. So he's saying that don't even get angry. Are you there? Now this is what makes the case now terrible. If you get angry, even when you have not said any negative thing, you're already in the danger of the judgment. When you now say negative things because you are angry, you will now be in the danger of the council. Because now there is something the council can hold against you. There's something you are not supposed to say that you have said. There's something you are not supposed to do that you have done. So now the council cannot legally call you to look into your case. Are we together? All right. Thank you, Father. The Bible now says, but if you call somebody a fool, you will be in the danger of hellfire. So it means that calling a person a fool is not in the same progression with the first two statements. So it's not about that word, F-O-O-L. There's something behind that statement. That's why the word but was used for the last statement and not and. Because if they had said and if you call, that means it's actually more literal. But the fact that the Bible uses but shows that we have to critically look into it. There's something in that statement that is beyond the physical. Are we together? Now, Paul was speaking to the Galatians and he told them, oh, you foolish Galatians, who has bewitched you? So to say foolish is actually to call a person a fool. That's just it, without hiding anything. So does it now mean that Paul is in the danger of hellfire? So that we have to look at that word fool. What is the implication of it? So this last statement now is beyond what you say. It's now about the motive behind what you say. When Paul referred to the Galatians as foolish, he was not using that word to condemn them. He was not using it out of hatred. He was using it as a rebuke for something that they did wrong. Are you getting what I'm saying? He was using that as a rebuke for something that they did wrong. Why did he call them foolish? Because that thing that they had done, are you there, was actually against the teachings that they have been taught, the things they have been taught. So to call them foolish there means that they have been quickly drawn away from the truth that they have learned. How is it? Why? Who has bewitched you? That's the emphasis. O ye foolish Galatians, who has bewitched you? Meaning, who has blinded your eyes? Who has covered your eyes that you will not see? You have been taught these things. Who did this to you? So Paul was not using it as an insult on them. He was not using it to mock them. He was using it to rebuke them. And he has the right to rebuke them because he is an elder. He has the right to rebuke them because he is their teacher. Are you there? He knows what he taught them. As a good teacher, you know that a good teacher knows how to assess the people. Are you there? Because he knows what he has taught them. So the assessment a teacher will give to his student is based on what he has taught them. For example, everybody should understand what I'm about to say. We are all students. Are you there? Everybody is a student. Whether you are in school or not, life is teaching us things every day. And we are learning from God every day. So being a student is a constant condition. Praise God. Now, a teacher will not ask you to do something. They will not give you tests on what they have not taught you. Some of them can now be somehow terrible that they may give you some questions that is not from your note, but it will be on the topic that you have been taught. And most teachers will always want to draw their questions from something that is in your notes. So if a teacher now draws questions for you as a student from something that you have been taught, and you still did not do well in that test, who are you? Are you there? You are a fool. Now, if the teacher refers to you as a fool, he's not mocking you. Are you there? This one is now with a motive to correct and to rebuke. So a fool there now means a student who has refused to maximize, are you there, what has been given to him. Are you there? A student who have refused to utilize or to make use of the knowledge that has been made available. Are you there? For example, you know how to you know how to drive, and then you saw danger ahead of you. Instead of you to just drive your car and move faster, you drop the car, you left the car, close the door, close it well, and you were now running away. You were now running with your legs. So if on the way you fall into the river, you broke your leg, you injured yourself, why did that happen to you? It happens because of your foolishness. Why? You have refused to apply the knowledge that you have. You know how to drive, but you refuse to apply it. Are you there? So in this context, are you there? A man who has known the truth but have refused to apply the truth is a foolish man. And that's not an insult. That's a rebuke. That's how to rebuke the man, because the knowledge is there, but he has refused to apply it. Are you there? So you must not deliberately make use of the knowledge that God has given to you. You must deliberately make the trainings of God count, the teachings count. Otherwise, you'll be a fool. Because a fool is that person who has been exposed to knowledge but has refused to apply the knowledge that he has been exposed to. Are we together? He has been taught how to add 5 plus 5, multiply, but when he gets to exam, he now came with stones. 10 plus 10 is now counting stones. He counted 10 stones. He counted another 10 stones. He is now counting them together. 1, 2, 20. And that exam is 2 hours. Just imagine you are in basic 4 and you are still counting stones. There's a class where that counting is acceptable. If you are in KG classes, they will even see you as a brilliant student. But you can't be in J2 and you are still counting stones. If you are in J2 and you are still counting stones, that's not wisdom. That is now foolishness, because it will mean that you have refused to apply certain knowledge. So that's the difference. Are we together? We'll continue tomorrow. And hopefully tomorrow, if the Lord will still want us to still pay attention to this, we'll do that. Thank you, Father, for today. Be glorified. Now, the Bible now continues, still in that Matthew chapter 5, verse 22. It now says, if you now say Raka, if you say Raka to someone, you will be in the danger of the council. Are you there? So, the first one is, if you get angry without a cause, that is action days. Are you there? If you now say Raka, now the first one, getting angry without a cause, is doing. It's not necessarily, although it involves words, but it involves a lot of physical demonstrations. So meaning that if your physical demonstration is wrong, you will be in the danger of the judgment of men. Danger of the judgment, because men will criticize you. Now the second one, if you say Raka, you will be in the danger of the council. So the first one talks about what you do. The second one now talks about what you say. Because to say Raka means that you looked at your neighbor and you concluded the person, you summarized the person's life to be zero. To say Raka is to say that a person is empty-headed, or to say that somebody is empty. It's similar to actually calling a person a fool. Are you there? But basically, it means empty. So when you say Raka, you are saying you are empty. You are saying you are useless. But the Bible now told us that to say Raka will bring you into the danger of the council. Meaning that when you do that, you will appear before men. Either you appear before the gathering of men, either who have actually gathered to judge your case. Meaning, if you say Raka, you will bring yourself to a point where you legally deserve to be judged. Because the council there is the gathering of men. If you want to understand council, let's study the book of Acts. Peter appeared before the council. Paul appeared before council. Are you there? How? For what? For judgment. They will judge them. This thing you have done, if you do it again, are you there? That's council. Council involves certain men. Are you there? Who are seated, or whatever posture they are taking. But it involves a group of people who are there to see into a particular situation. So in a council, you see people there, and then you stay there, and then they begin to ask you, what did you do? Then they will say, I did. Okay, why did you do it? Then at first, the person that is speaking against you will say everything. He did this, he did that. What I'm saying now, if you study the book of Acts, you will understand better. He did this, he did that. But for the apostles, you see people saying, well, they are preaching. And then at a point, they even said, this be the men that turned the world upside down. They had looked for accusations, no other thing to say. They said, they are the one turning the world upside down. That was what somebody was saying against them in the council. So after the one that is accusing you has spoken, then the council will now say, okay, you now, yeah, speak. Let's know. All these things they have said against you now, speak. Let's know if it is true. That's what they do in the council. So the Bible is now saying that if you say raka to your neighbor, you will be in the danger of the council, meaning that you will prepare yourself legally to appear before council. Are you there? Some of us, all these things actually happens to us. It becomes our reality. Some of us, because we are careless. There's this girl that you are trying to bring to Christ. And are you there? And then your closeness is become too much. It's becoming too much. And you have called your attention to it. You said, well, by force, by fire, my generation must know God. We are not saying your generation should not know God, but wisdom is profitable for direction. If the girl now gets pregnant, even if you are not responsible for it, but you see, your closeness to the girl has actually implicated you. Whether you like it or not, you will stand before the council. Are you getting what I'm saying? And then they will now begin to ask, how did this happen? In order to avoid that, there are some things to avoid. Are you there? So that you will not even come to the point where you are standing before the council in any instance, in any case. Are we together? So if you say raka, you will be in the danger of the council, meaning you will you bring yourself to a state where you are likely to become vulnerable to the council. Because when a person appears before the council, your life, your existence, are you there? Whether you die or live is depending on the council. From the council, they can say, go and stone him. I'm not joking. Okay. There was a particular time that Apostle Paul, that mighty Apostle Paul in the Bible, he appeared before the council. And the decision of the council over him was not favorable. Guess what? They stoned him. As a matter of fact, they stoned him. They so much dealt with Paul that he passed out. So when he passed out, they now felt like, okay, this man has died. That was when they left him. Because when they passed out, he was just lifeless, somehow, something like that, similar to that. A condition similar to that. It was in that state that they now left him. Because there's no point beating and still stoning somebody that is dead. The Bible now told us that later the air just blew on him and then he just regained consciousness. And then he went to another city. It's in the book of Acts. Are we seeing that? So the danger of the council is that when you appear before the council, your life is now depending on the council. Your life is now depending on the decision that the council will make. So before you get to that level, don't even say raka. You see, the first statement and the second statement are connected. So there is something you will do that will bring you into the danger of the judgment. Are you there? And there's another thing you do that will bring you into the danger of the council. Because even the council is a place of judgment. So it's a progression. It will first begin with getting angry without a cause. Are we together? It will begin with getting angry without a cause. And then gradually move to saying raka. Because if you get angry without a cause, obviously you will say raka. You will say things you should not say. You will do things you should not do. And when those things begins to happen, there's no way you will escape it. You will appear before a council. Even for my own case that time, although I knew nothing, that those speculations were not true, even at that, the accusations were false. Even at that, I appeared before the council. I remember the elders were seated like this. I was there. And then I was vulnerable to the council, to the decisions of the council. After the whole council thing, that was when I was sacked. A young boy that was working for God, no, I was sacked. Why? Because my life was now my stay on the job was now dependent on the decision of the council. That's what Jesus is warning us from. So if somebody that is not even guilty of the offense is standing before council, what of you that you are now guilty? Your own is going to be more serious. Are we together? So you have to take note of that. Huh? If you get angry without a cause, you'll be in the danger of the judgment. Meaning you bring yourself to a point where people can legally criticize you because you are wrong. So you bring yourself to a point where anybody can just be talking to you anyhow. He's saying, "Man, I told you it's fake. This is it now." So don't get angry without a cause, so that you will not bring yourself into the danger of the judgment, which is the judgment of men. Now, and that judgment of men, most of the time, it can come individually. Individually, people can criticize you, they can talk down on you. Are you there? And it can also come collectively. When it is coming collectively, it is coming from a council. Are you getting what I'm saying? When it's coming collectively, it is coming from a council. And that's what the Bible now is now referring to in the next statement. That if you say raka, you'll be in the danger of the council. Meaning people will collectively gather to discuss your matter. And then your destiny will now be resting on their conclusions, on their decisions. If they make wrong conclusions, it will affect you. Are you there? There are people now who are suffering, not because they are wrong, but because a council made a wrong decision over them, and that affected the graph of their acceleration in life. Be careful.